Hello and welcome everyone to Women Speakers Association's WSATV. I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and producer today of WSATV. I'm also digital media and marketing strategist with transformtoday.com, coming to you from San Diego, California. I have an incredible show for you with amazing women leaders, and we're going to be talking all about courage today. And I want to actually share my screen so you can see who these wonderful women are. It's just such a privilege to be here and talk about the power of courage in your life. We've got Anita, Pathak, and Heather Parks, and let's go meet them right now. Hi, Heather.
Hi, hello everyone. I am Heather Parks, and I'm the founder of New Dimensions Coaching. And I serve as a leadership development and mindset coach. I reside in the greater Atlanta area. And you can find me at www.ndcoaching.com. And there you can follow me on all sorts of fun social media.
Wonderful. And hello, Anita. Glad you're with us.
Hi, everyone. This is Anita from Toronto. It's nice and windy today. I have been an executive assistant for the past 2.5 decades. I'm also a Toastmaster and a published author. This is my book, Shine: Secrets of Executive Assistants. So today I would love to share a little bit about my book. Thank you.
Oh, we're looking forward to hearing more about your work with executive assistants. And also today's show, as you know, is all about courage. And so what I thought we'd have a really in-depth conversation about, what role does courage play in success, meeting goals, and growing? So Heather, I thought we could start off with your advice for people. How do they use courage to grow?
Yeah, so courage is such an important aspect of thriving in today's world. So I've worked with hundreds of people around the world, and what I found is most of them don't use their voice when it's at a critical place, a place where they need to get their opinions and their thoughts out, and a time where the people around them need to hear it. So this is actually true in work relationships, but also in personal relationships. So my best advice is to, one, spend time understanding what you value in life. Two, what are your trigger points? What's holding you back? And then three, how do you really want to show up with the people that are around you? So once you're conscious of these things, courage will come easily to you, and you'll be making consciously informed decisions, and you'll be able to move forward with the peace of knowing who you are, what you want, and being able to communicate that easily.
Yeah, being able to, there's a lot of fear in people when they hear some of those tips, I would imagine, yes?
Yeah. Yes.
So I think you're saying that, okay, sometimes courage involves fear. I mean, I guess courage always involves fear. Would we say that? And there's nothing wrong with fear, right?
And it's thematically, I've seen that people tend to, when they have that fear, they don't speak up, they don't communicate. But really understanding all aspects of you and who you are is very, very helpful in giving you the courage to go out and be and do the things that you want to do.
So really getting over that fear through these key little nuggets you just gave. Thank you. Thank you. Great. So Anita, I'd like to hear your wisdom on, what advice you have to help people, use courage to succeed in growth, because you're in an industry that I'm sure there's a lot of courage needed.
Indeed. Courage is a big, big word. It takes a lot to be courageous. For me, I would say if I commit myself to inspire and encourage people, when I say people, I mean the admin professionals, to love what they do and to achieve their goals, no matter with how many leaders they work, because we do have leaders with different personalities. So it takes a lot of courage to live with those people, to understand their mindset. And like I mentioned earlier in my book, there is a section where I have written, this is about a formula which is called CDEF. CFGG. C is for committed, detail-oriented, efficient, fearless, and go-getter. So if you are courageous, you will be fearless no matter what. And also, to be courageous, one piece of advice that I would like to give to everyone is every day wear your cap, wear your CAP. What is CAP? Be consistent. Always anticipate and inject passion in everything you do. Once that passion is there, the courage will come and you will be fearless. So you will know how to juggle whatever thing you have to say to your leader, but in the proper way. So to say things in a good way, another piece of advice based on my experience, I have joined a Toastmasters club. This is the place where people help you to speak with confidence whenever you are speaking and to anyone at any level at any time. Courage is a big word, but once we know how to hold it, it definitely helps.
I think the advice is like pure gold here that we just got from both Anita and Heather, and I love the consistent, anticipatory, passionate actions. You know, one of the things from both of you is when you take the focus and put it on that passion, when you take the focus and put it on the goal, like to communicate versus the fear of what might happen. If you shift your focus, that's courage. That allows you to move forward past that fear into the success. So thank you for inspiring that and sharing your wisdom, each of you. I would like to get to know you a little bit more and have our viewers today, everyone out there. And if you're watching us today, we are broadcasting from Women Speakers Association's Facebook page. Feel free to give us a shout out there and like us. If you have any questions, you can certainly put them in the chat. I want to give a shout out to Lisa Mannion, Mary Joyce, and Gail, and everyone else who's out there checking us out today and talking about courage. So I know it took courage to get into the place you're at today and where you work. So tell us, who do you work with? What do you do? What are you passionate about doing with your clients? Heather, let's go to you.
Yeah, so I work with individuals and corporations who are ready to engage, thrive, and drive positive outcomes. And really for me, after 17 years of serving in a corporate capacity with leadership roles that were really all meant for how do you, on a global scale, develop leaders and help transition their mindsets to be leaders, I really knew I had a passion for helping people get underneath the things that hold them back from thriving not only in their careers, but also in their personal lives. Also, I had an unyielding passion that kept growing inside of me that was directed at career-driven women. So I've met many women who were wildly successful, but they still felt like something was missing. And no matter how accomplished they were, they just couldn't recognize it. They were always looking for something bigger, that next raise, that next promotion, some type of recognition. And funny enough, what I found resonating so much with me, it was the fact that that was me along my journey as well. So I had a connection to those women. And it takes a lot of courage for strong, independent women to really do some of that inner work, to take a step back, unravel their stories, and be vulnerable enough to share that with people like me and create a plan forward that really probably serves them much better when they have a better understanding of the mindset and where some of their assumptions and experiences really came from. So I created a 4-step process that I call the Freedom and Purpose System. And it's actually the 4 steps that I personally went through to start to help to understand my own story. So I really could begin feeling all of that success and accomplishment that I had in my life.
Wow. So do you have an example of someone you took through the process and what happened for them?
Yeah, so actually one that still really just kind of fills me up and I use this as my star example. I had a woman that I was working with, and she had been in corporate for about 25 years. And she was really at a place in her life where she didn't know exactly what she wanted to do, but she knew she didn't want to stay in the corporate job that she had been in. But she had a lot of fear around what comes next. Would she be able to switch careers? Would she be able to build a business of her own? Would she be able to replace her income? I mean, all of those fears that start rolling in when you're trying to figure out what comes next. And then we had a really big one around, was she good enough to really go out and do this business? So we spent about 6 months working together, exploring her self-talk, what fears were coming up for her, why were they coming up? And then we flipped it. What success stories, did she have? After being in corporate for 25 years, she had a lot of successes throughout her career that would lend themselves well to her being successful in her next journey. So we created an action plan from all of that. And then for the next 6 months, I served as her accountability partner. So really easy, quick snippets of 10 minutes a week, just so she could talk to me a little bit about the big plans that she had, any fears that may still be cropping up that she wanted to work through very, very quickly. But if you fast forward 2 years, she's now thriving in this business that she established for herself. She took a lot of courageous steps, and her confidence just really began to soar. And you can see that now through the success of the business that she's built. And I get the pleasure of talking to her very frequently for updates to see all of the amazing stuff that she's doing. So it's really powerful to be able to see another woman move from fear of the unknown into flourishing and living out her dream.
Wow. How precious for that. What I got with regard to courage, having a partner makes courage that much easier, especially an accountability partner, a coach in your corner, cheering you on, believing in you. The power of that connection is very powerful. Thank you. So Anita, tell us about you and who you're working with and what are you doing with them a little bit more.
Actually, I've been to Canada for 10 years now. So I immigrated back from Mauritius, which is an island in the Indian Ocean. So coming to North America, working with the North American leaders took a lot of courage. This is our theme today. But like I have been an EA for more than 20 years, at the end of the day, all the leaders had one main goal. What they really expect from their EAs or admin assistants is to be proactive. Proactive, I would say it's the buzzword in the corporate world, because business leaders will appreciate if their EAs can think 2 steps ahead of them and be mind readers. This is what I try to do every day at my work. I just look at my boss, and if there is an email which just came in, I will read through the email, and I'm ready to know what he's expecting. So this is another way to be proactive, because once you become the mind reader, and this is what I do. These are my daily stories. I read the email, just highlight the action that has to be taken, go to him and say, okay, this has been taken care of. And this is the wow moment when the person looks at you and say, wow, you did a good job. Because at the end of the day, we all look for recognition, just hey, you did a good job. It doesn't have to be something, a monetary gain or a raise in your salary, just 2 simple words, thank you. It means a lot. And to be courageous also, we have to ensure that there is a transparent communication between myself and my leader. Because if we don't communicate, hey, we will go everywhere. He will think like this, I will think like this, and at the end of the day, we won't be achieving anything. So the main thing is to be very transparent in our communication, because once you have the courage to communicate transparently. This is where you will exude confidence and courage will be there. Fearless will be at the doorstep and you will grow, I would say, exponentially. This is a little bit about what I do. I try to help my leader to grow, to succeed. His success will be my success. We work close together.
Yeah, it's like you have their back, it's really great. And whether you're an executive assistant, there's a lot of people involved with Women Speakers Association who have virtual assistants, or you're the leader and you have your own assistants. I mean, just remember the people in your life help you be courageous. Like you're helping as an executive assistant, the leader be courageous because he knows you have his back, or she knows you have his back, right? So, courage comes into play in so many areas of our lives, that the work that both of you are doing supporting leaders in leading well through being courageous yourself is a huge contribution. And so it doesn't matter where you are in life, if you want to make a bigger difference, you need to invoke courage. You need to bring up that courage. And both Heather and Anita, you have some wisdom on how to do that. I love that, Anita, you have that book for executive assistants, and Heather, you're coaching. I read something about you. You said you're a courage instigating coach. I love that. The wisdom that you are a power team. I'm going to put up on my screen again where people can find you. And remember that both Anita and Heather have an online presence, so you can learn more from them. You can get more nuggets of wisdom at their websites. They're right below at the bottom of the screen. They'll be in the blog post. They'll be on the YouTube description. They'll be in the Facebook post as well. So we want to encourage you to get the most, to be the most courageous version of yourself, so that you can grow yourself and help and inspire others to grow and be their best selves. So I have one more thing I want to ask, and it relates to Women Speakers Association. We're a group of women who are, of influence and impact, creating global transformations. You could hear that just in this conversation today, right? And we have a free level of membership waiting right for any of you viewers out there at joinwsa.com. Both Anita and Heather are premier level members, and so we offer more visibility for premier members, and we have more gifts and involvement. So what I wanted to hear from both you, Heather and Anita, is what are you enjoying so far, and what results are you seeing from being involved in Women Speakers Association? Heather, why don't you go first?
Yeah, I think Women Speaker Association gives such a wonderful platform for women to be able to connect to each other. So we all have a message. This is a great way for us to come together, support each other, and put that message out for people, for other women who need to hear that, who also have gifts that can be reciprocal to the women who do have that membership. Just a great platform to be connected.
Do love that connection and we thrive in that, in the collaboration. So Anita, what are you enjoying and what do you like about WSA?
Without hesitation, WSA, this is the right group to join. I've been a member for the past couple of months, and from time to time I just go on the website. It's amazing. It's everyone around the world sharing so many things. So every day I try to read like 2 lines from the website, and every time it triggers something. It helps me to do something, to do more. I would say women are given the chance to unleash their potentials just by learning and sharing. It's a big world. We just share, we grow, and it's a fun place. I love it.
Great. I love that. Unleash your potential with Women Speakers Association. Well done. Well said. We will be back with you next week, actually in the week after next, for another edition of Women Speakers Association WSATV. Until then, be courageous. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.